Hello and welcome back to another video in the world of Monster Hunter. New event time, and I'm aware this one is late. I also actually did put one up earlier, but I got all of my dates wrong. I kept on saying September rather than November because I am a drunken idiot that is way too preoccupied with trying to stroke my cat. Anyway, I'll be doing this in two parts. First part is quite simply the 2nd to the 8th of November, and these events quests are as followed: Flesh Cleaved to Bone, Wicked Wildspar Warfare, and Wildspar Bolero. Pretty darn simple really. None of them actually really give anything particularly useful or important. On to the second set, which is from the 9th to the 15th of November. The Poison Posse, Triple Threat Throwdown, Coral Waltz, and this is how revolts start. Now, obviously, you're not here for that. Of course you're not. You're here for Banquet in the Earthen Hell, which is basically Kulve Taroth, or as I like to call it, the Golden Gecko, because she's fucking irritating, and geckos are actually quite cute, but not irritating, but it right. Alliteration. Why not? Now, the Kulve Taroth Siege will be in play through both of those event timelines from the 2nd of November to the 15th. So you have plenty of time to get your awesome Rarity 8 weapons, which are all, well, there's a few Rarity 7s that are worthwhile, but the rest are just sort of like bleh. But most of them Rarity 8 are worthwhile. On my first run through I was so happy. I got Taroth Assault Support! Yes! Can't wait to get busy with that. Absolutely get busy with that. It's going to be amazing! Got a few more things which I'm trying to collect, and the deliveries as well. I'm not sure if anyone has noticed, but trust me, there are. If you check out your deliveries while this event is going on, you can trade in some of those lovely tickets that you're getting from your Siege reward box at the end after you break the horns. You can trade them in along with a few other parts, and there are 2 layered armor sets which are very in tune with the Lao Shanglong armor from previous games. And on that note, the actual Kulve Taroth Siege is quite similar in a way in how it works with Lao Shanglong. So I quite like how they've actually done this sort of like little reminder, almost like a throwback, a little nod, tilt of the hat if you will, to some of the previous games, and I do hope they continue this along. So how exactly does Kulve Taroth work? Well, in the first area where you meet it in stage 1, it's a little bit of a maze and it's a little bit annoying to navigate if it's your first time, but just basically wail on it. Do whatever you can to break a load of the parts. If you hit it enough times, occasionally she does turn around and give you a nice little tail swipe or try and poke at you with her claws, but she doesn't really do too much. Once you get to the second area, which is where we are here, as you can see, she does become a little bit more aggressive, although not too aggressive. She's still quite cumbersome and quite slow, doesn't really put a lot of effort into it. It's basically just more free damage. The attacks don't really do that much apart from that molten gold vomit, that particularly if you're a heavy bowgun, that will wreck your day, because I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I decide to reload, I always try and time it perfectly, but whenever I decide to reload, the Golden Gecko runs right over me and then just vomits all over me. And then due to the large area and the amount that each tick of damage does, yeah, it really ruins my day. And with this happening on repeat, the Golden Gecko becomes terribly tedious. Ba-boom-ch. Anyway, after you have done enough damage to her lovely golden cloak, she will move on to the third area, which is a bit of like a lava pit. There's a few there's a few rocks you can drop on her for some extra damage. And this is basically, if you haven't done so already, you typically can do it in the secondary as well. It depends on what scaling the mission itself is on. Basically, if it's on level 1 scaling, it's not hard, it just takes a long time. And if it goes up to like level 6 scaling, I believe, and you can literally breeze through this in under 10 minutes on level 6, it's kind of silly, to be perfectly honest. And the way in which you scale it up is just by keep doing it, picking up footprints. By breaking things you get more points, by picking things up you get more points, and it basically it just helps level it up. It's almost like just trying to get points for an investigation. Every time you get enough points for the investigation, it just levels up the siege, as it were. And then finally, when you get to the 4th area, which is what you can see here, you get to see Kulve Taroth in its full magnificence, which is basically unclothed. It's naked. Nikki, look at it. Oh, pretty lady. And from here, basically, you just need to cave her face in. And by face, I mean horns, and by cave in, I mean very weak to ice at this stage. In the previous stage, with the massive golden cloak, she's very weak to thunder. So yeah, there's a little bit of chopping and changing around. It does provide you with Farcasters, just in case you do want to do this. Personally, I just go Dark Devourer and just go, nuke the face! Just sort of walk in and go, I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. But I've got plenty of bullets. Yeah, I'm really sad. Wow, I really am sad. Yeah, Kulve Taroth is actually not too much of a struggle. I'm starting to find it a bit tedious, particularly the way the RNG works and some of the weapons. I've got some good ones. I have got 3 tons worth of bad ones, and about another 9.5 tons worth of why does this even exist ones. So there are ups and downs. It doesn't really require too much communication. Just one of the easiest ways to break the horns is to put it to sleep. So if you do see it doing some odd animation, just be mindful that it's probably going to sleep. So you might want to stop attacking. It does have a very long sleep animation, so you could probably get away with getting a few extra hits in. But generally, Kulve Taroth isn't really too bad. Bit boring after a while, and some of the weapons you do get from her are absolutely great. And her armor, her armor is amazing. I'll have to be doing another video and going over her armor. Anyway, that is me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys pretty darn soon. Thank you all so much for the support. I'm really loving it, and a lot of the feedback as well. Hopefully you guys will join me in a game of Monster Hunter pretty darn soon, but until then, don't die. It's bad for the health.